Joining me today on NYSE Floor Talk is Chris Molineaux. He is the president and CEO at Life Sciences Pennsylvania. Chris, it's wonderful to have you here. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk.
Well, thanks for inviting me. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. So now, Chris, let's talk about your organization. Tell me about it and tell me about your mission.
Sure. Life Sciences Pennsylvania is the state trade association for the entire life sciences industry that calls Pennsylvania home. So it's an ecosystem of large pharma, startup biotech companies, medical device companies, diagnostics, research institutions, investment organizations, more than 3,000 organizations across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and that's who we represent. Our mission is to make Pennsylvania the most attractive place to open and operate a life sciences company by creating a public policy environment and a business environment conducive to that type of company formation and growth.
All right, so January is Biotech Month. Tell me, what are you most excited about in biotech today in the life sciences ecosystem?
To talk about Biotech Month and to talk about 2024, we have to acknowledge the last 2 years have been exceedingly difficult, particularly in this setting. Talking about raising capital, investment capital has been very difficult. Some have said the markets have basically been closed for the last 24 months or so for investment in biotech because of how high risk it is. Now, our optimism is important. You have to be optimistic in our industry, and we're optimistic that the business leaders and the scientific leaders who are accustomed to solving very vexing problems can also solve this one, and that the markets will reopen and that we'll see some investment flowing back into the sector.
All right, so it's a new year. Tell me, what are you most focused on for 2024?
Well, we're trying to stay squarely focused on our two areas of accountability. So those are public policy advocacy and what we refer to as facilitating strategic connections. So on the public policy front, we're always trying to shape policy at the federal level as well as the state level to make it possible for companies to be created and to grow, not just in Pennsylvania. We're not geographically bound. We have about 120 member companies based outside of Pennsylvania. So we're not geographically bound. We do spend a lot of time at the federal level, but focusing on policies that will help industry grow, help innovation succeed and then continue to grow. And at the state level, we have a new governor in Pennsylvania, Governor Shapiro, new as of last year, and we're working with him on a long-term economic incentive plan that will also accelerate that type of small company formation and growth. Our second accountability is facilitating strategic connections. And that means whatever our companies need it to mean. So whatever resource they need, we can create a connection for them to get access to that resource. And that's what grows the ecosystem. And just like the biology metaphor of an ecosystem, every part contributes to the success of the whole. So we're going to focus on those two areas.
All right. Well, Chris, wonderful to talk with you.
Thank you, Judy.
Happy New Year, and thanks for joining me on Floor Talk.
Happy New Year to you, too. Thank you for having me.